everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
That's more better. I want to welcome everybody to our formal ceremony here at the Elwood Mansion, City of DeKalb, Memorial Day 2024. At this time, we'd like the presentation of the colors by the American Legion Honor Guard. Please stand if you can, remove your hat. Please remain standing as Miss Terry Crane Goodmans perform the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wheeled at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets echoed, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Terry. Please be seated. Today is a special day for us to honor those veterans who are no longer with us, but more importantly, to honor those that are still here as well, plus make people aware of the various programs that we have in DeKalb County and the City of DeKalb. In the audience, we have a group from the American Legion family, and they are promoting Be the One, which is talking about the young veterans, the 22 who commit suicide every day. And their program is to make people more aware of what we should do, how we can have an outreach to help those young people who come back, even the older ones as well. Also in the audience, we have members of the Daughters of the American Revolution that is passing out lapel pins to honor our current veterans that are here. This is a great organization. You're going to hear about them a little later on. I'd like to acknowledge some of the dignitaries we have here. We have our city manager here, Bill Nicholas, someplace I know he was here. It's so nice that we get people from our city supporting what we do. We actually have 3 mayors here today, Mayor John Ray, Mayor Jerry Smith, and Mayor Cohen Barnes. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Speaking of Jerry Smith, last fall, Jerry and I got together and we decided it's time we create a foundation to support veteran programs. I don't know if you've ever seen the clock at First and Lincoln. In 2021, that was renovated, several $1,000s, and it was done by some of the service clubs in town. We thought, well, maybe we need to start a foundation to be able to continue those kind of projects, be it the clock, or be it the flags, or the bricks, the memorials out at the Elks. So we started a new foundation called the DeKalb County Veterans Recognition Fund, and it's part of the DeKalb County Foundation. The reason I'm mentioning this past week we were acknowledged that a local family has donated $5,000 to our fund on behalf of their son, who is no longer with us, a former DeKalb graduate and Naval Academy graduate. So we want to thank that family for that donation. Information will be coming. I would be remiss before we get much further in this to not thank the Park District for a wonderful job of getting out the chairs and preparing everything, putting in the new slots for our flags for the service today. I don't know if those of you who were here 3 years ago remember we had veterans standing out there holding those flags, and at their age they're lucky to stand for 5 minutes. So the Park District has actually put some holes in the ground for us, to permanent holes. Also, we have members of the 48-8 veteran organization here. We have members of the AMVETS here, and we have members of the Elk organization, which is actually the host of the official DeKalb Veterans Memorial. Jerry Evans, thank you, Jerry, and your family for being here. Let's give Jerry and the Elks a nice round of applause. And this would not be possible if not for the work of one young man at City Hall who has helped organize everything, put the program together, contacted all the right people to make sure that we would have this day and it would be special and worry-free. So I'd like Scott Zach to stand up, and let's give Scott a nice round of applause. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium the Commander of the American Legion, Manny Latham. Manny has been a catalyst to getting a lot of great things done here for our city. Those that did not attend the clock ceremony, the American Legion Honor Guard, which you see sitting over to your right, have performed over 25 military funerals this year alone. And they're a viable part of our community and very supportive of what we do, along with the Sons of the American Legion and the Legion Auxiliary. Before Manny, I forgot one thing, Manny, I'm going to have you come up here. I forgot the police and fire people that are here. Just give them a nice round of applause. They're very supportive of what we're doing. Manny?
Good morning. Thank you for coming together again, year after year, and showing what great pride we have in our veterans that have gone before us. As a veteran and a resident of DeKalb, I'm just so proud of everybody coming out, especially this long weekend that the American Legion has had in joining with Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, placing over 1,300 flags in the cemetery, Fairview Cemetery. And yesterday, our honor guard going through 10 cemeteries and conducting in the rain, which was hitting us sideways at times, conducting our honors to those who have gone before us and lay at rest in those cemeteries. So I just want to say thank you, citizens of DeKalb, for coming out and remembering those that have gone before us. God bless you.
I mentioned earlier about the Be For One group, which is the table over to your left. They have literature about the suicide problems we're having with our veterans. They also have some dog tags that you can take one, and if you ever find a veteran in distress, give them that dog tag, because it tells them where to go, where to get help. I want to tell you this from behalf of all of our veterans. A lot of us are too humble and ask for help. And we need to be able, the rest of our civilian population need to be able to reach out and say, we're here to help you, and if you need help. Also, they have some gun locks over there, so I know the police are happy that we're providing gun locks for families, safety reasons. At this time, we'd like to have some welcome remarks for all the various people. We would like to welcome to the podium our DeKalb Chief of Police, David Bird, who's very supportive of our veteran program here and behind and all our veterans, what we're trying to do. Chief Bird, David.
Thanks, Mike. Good morning, everyone. I know the sun is going to come out soon, so just keep your fingers crossed today. I know Mike initially just thanked the police department and the fire department. I also want to do the same thing because they provide our public safety so we can have these amazing events today so we can honor our fallen. So thank you again to the DeKalb Police Department and the DeKalb Fire Department. Thank you guys for it. So the other day I was talking to Mayor Barnes, and he's like, Chief, you know, when you get up there and speak, how are you going to keep it down to 2 to 3 minutes? You have a hard time at that. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I know myself very well. And the reason why it takes me, you know, I feel like my mind is never turned off, you know. So, and I always think when I give a speech somewhere, when I sit down, I always say, you know, I wanted to say that, you know, or I forgot to say that. So that's why I'm constantly thinking, my mind is constantly working. But Mayor, I'm going to try to do this in 2 to 3 minutes. So I guess every year around this time, one of the things that I think of the families of the fallen. I can only imagine how heavy their hearts are on Memorial Day. I know we take this day and celebrate, and we have picnics, and we have reasons to spend time with our family members, which is great. We should do those things. But we cannot do these things without thinking about the families of our fallen soldiers. I mean, we have to think about them when we get together with our families. So I challenge everyone today, at some point during the day, when you're with your family, when you're having a good time, if you're giving a toast, whatever you're doing, think about the fallen, but think about the family. Think about the family members. Their hearts are heavy today. I guarantee you their hearts are heavy. So when you're having your celebrations, just think about them. I mean, truly, let's think about them. Today, although this is a somber day, I always smile when I see our veterans. I mean, they make me smile just on contact. I see them, and, you know, I talk to Mike all the time, and we have some of the best conversations. I see a lot of our veterans in the gym where I work out. I see them, and they're working hard, keeping themselves and fighting trim. I love to see that, and I'm happy that they made it here. So although this is a somber day and we honor our fallen, I want to also honor the military personnel who are here today with us. They made it, and they're here. Let's honor them every day when we get an opportunity. Honor them. When you see them, thank them for their service. Every now and then I'll see a veteran and they'll say, Chief, thank you for your service. And I mean, it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, I should be thanking you for your service. Because you gave me all the freedoms that I have right now today. And I always want to thank them. When I see them going into if they go in a doorway, I run to get that door. Because I want to give them everything that they deserve. I want them to get the honors that they deserve every day. So as we take today to honor our fallen officers, also honor our veterans that are here with us today. I'm very excited to hear from Sergeant Goodwin, who is a member of the DeKalb Police Department, who will be speaking a little later. I'm so honored to have so many amazing military personnel as members of the DeKalb Police Department. So today is going to be a great day for me. I'm going to be smiling back here as I sit down, as I watch Sergeant Goodwin give his speech, who is a member of the United States Marine Corps. So please, everyone, have a great day. Be safe. And let's not forget about our fallen. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Bird. One of the things he mentioned is, it is a day to honor, but I have so much respect for families who bring their young children out to this event. And Noah from the fire department brought his kids today. Where is Noah? He's out there in the audience. But anyway, he brought his kids. I have such great respect for those families to teach the young people what Memorial Day is all about. Not about just the hot dogs and the Coors Light. It's about losing people. It's about that mom who will never see her son again. It's about that wife who will never see her husband, or that kid whose father will not be there for graduation or when they walk down the aisle. So it is a little humbling and is very respectful to what we do and why we do it. Next to the podium, we'd like to invite our Mayor Cohen Barnes. Cohen?
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me in the back okay? Fantastic. All right. There's been a lot of thank yous that have been given by everyone that's been before you today. My thank you that I want to give is for each and every one of you in the audience, and each and every one of you that attended the parade, the clock ceremony, and the various other ceremonies that are going to go on today. Today is a somber day. It's Memorial Day. It's the day where we remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. We've heard about honoring veterans, and I'm a veteran myself, and always appreciate those kind words. Today, we remember those that are no longer with us. The Chief mentioned about being free and the freedoms we have. And it is because of those that served in the line of duty and fell in the line of duty. Each and every one of us here, I bet, has a connection to a veteran, to someone that served, and someone that we are in particular are honoring today. We have to remember that over the course of today, but we also, even though it is a somber day, we need to make sure that we enjoy it. I think the Chief mentioned having a beer, or Michael mentioned having a hot dog. Today is one of those that we start off in the morning in remembrance, but I encourage each and every one of us throughout the course of this day to smile, to hug your family, especially hug your veterans, but ultimately to enjoy the day that we have, because the reason we can do this is because of all those who fell in the line of duty and served before us. So again, today is about remembrance. Today is somber, but please go out and have what most likely is going to be an absolutely beautiful Memorial Day. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your family, and enjoy the time you have together. And especially, I really look forward as well to hearing Sergeant Goodwin come to the podium and share some of his words as a former Marine. So have a wonderful Memorial Day, everybody. Thanks again for coming, and thanks again for remembering, because if not, lest we forget, and that is something that we have to hold true. We always, always have to remember. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Cohen. And I knew he would not have a problem coming up and speaking, but recently he was humbled and was almost speechless. 2 weeks ago, his son graduated from the Illinois State University, and he was commissioned as a second lieutenant. And to see this man humbled, it was kind of cool. So thank you for another generation of Army people. Thank you, Cohen. Again, the whole focus of this year's Memorial Day was to let people know that we have things available for our current veterans so we can keep promoting and being positive about what's happening with our community. So the next speaker, Don Schaefer, is the director of the Kishwaukee Special Recreation Department, and they reached out to us and they said, we want to do something every month for veterans. Some kind of meeting, some kind of event, music or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, this is really cool that we can get these families out and honor and respect our veterans. In fact, last week was a brunch, a potluck supper, and they will help sponsor our event coming up June 14th at the Elks for a Flag Day. So it's really exciting to have somebody who gives back to our community and helps us with our veteran population. Don?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am honored to be here of service to you. As Michael said, we have a program that we have started. Kishwaukee Special Recreation Association has been around since 1977. Many of you will know us from Camp Maple Leaf, which is still going strong. But as the community grows and develops, so must we. And it is my pleasure. I am not a veteran, I am a daughter of a veteran. My father is a Marine, my uncle's a Marine, my two cousins are Marines. I chose not to be a Marine. I chose to be a civilian in order to support those that are coming back and to honor those that have gone before. So as Michael has said, we are hosting a monthly event for veterans and for their families. Moving forward, I invite the veterans to tell me, what do you want to see? What can I do for you and your family? It is my honor to be of service to you after the service you have provided to us. Some of the programs coming up will have Tai Chi in the park that allows for mindfulness, calmness, and hopefully no cicadas, but I'll talk to the park district about that. And I'm also organizing golf lessons. So an easy way to come out and enjoy the weather, learn how to golf, or learn how to have a good time, whatever is best. But I welcome veterans of any era to be a part of our program. I welcome any veteran and their family to come visit me at the office and talk about what can we do to help you, to serve you, to thank you. So please know that I am honored to be able to serve. Know that I am honored to be able to stand here. So I thank you, Michael, for inviting me to be a part of it. And I do want to call out Ron, who is sitting behind us, who's going to start a veterans music program eventually. We're working on that. So I encourage veterans that have skills or just special talents that want to give back to other veterans, and I can make that happen. It takes me 5 minutes to create a program, as Ron will talk about. 2 conversations, I already got a program in mind. I am here for you, and I am honored to serve you. So as you enjoy this day with your family, as I make the trek to go visit my dad and spend the afternoon with him, I thank you for your service. I honor the families that no longer have their service member with them, and I look forward to being of service to you. So thank you, have a wonderful day, and be safe.
Thank you, Don. That's exciting. I could just see Jerry Smith out there doing Tai Chi. Can't you? And I like the golf thing. That's good because I just went out and played some golf. I shot a 36. Now I'm going to go to the second hole and see how I do there. So I need golf lessons. Absolutely. Our next speaker, I got a chance to meet last November, and I was asked to speak at their organization, and that's the Daughters of the American Revolution, which I knew of, but didn't really know. And I had a chance to go speak, and they're actually doing a program on military music, and I know a little something about military music, but not a lot. And so I got to speak and talk with them, and a great group of people who just care about our families and our veterans. Programs that way beyond my imagination. Dawn's a member of the General John Stark chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. She's an honorary regent of the chapter. She has held the state and division committee chairs, including her current position as state chair of honor flight committees. Dawn has completed her 4th flight with the honor flight groups this year. She's volunteered at multiple traveling Vietnam War veterans and recently named by the 50th anniversary Vietnam War commemoration as the outstanding state member for her efforts in honoring and thanking the Vietnam era veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to stand Ms. Dawn Waxel.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today as we remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us. As a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, I am honored to participate in today's program to honor the memory of the men and women who have died in service to our country. For those who are not familiar with the DAR, we are a nonprofit, non-political women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future through better education for children. Membership in the DAR is open to women who are descended from a patriot of the American Revolution. Patriots include those who fought, gave the oath of allegiance, or gave support in other ways, like nursing the sick or providing food and clothing. I proudly belong to the General John Stark chapter. As a member of the chapter, I'm also proud to share with you that as a result of a nomination our chapter submitted, Michael Embry was recently named by the Illinois Daughters of the American Revolution as the Illinois Outstanding Veteran Volunteer for 2024. For his deep commitment to honoring veterans and serving the community. His nomination has been advanced to the next level, and we eagerly await to hear if additional awards are in order. Today we stand in remembrance of all who have given their lives in service to our nation, like those who fought for the very birth of our nation nearly 250 years ago. Those who serve share a common thread of courage and dedication to the ideals of freedom and democracy. The patriots of the Revolutionary War fought to establish a nation founded on the principles of liberty, justice, and self-determination. They faced overwhelming odds, yet their commitment to the cause of independence never wavered. Their sacrifices laid the foundation for the freedoms we enjoy today. Similarly, service members who have died in the line of duty since the Revolutionary War have made the ultimate sacrifice to protect and preserve those same freedoms. Whether in distant lands or on home soil, these brave men and women faced significant challenges and dangers driven by a profound sense of duty and patriotism. Their willingness to lay down their lives ensures that the torch of liberty continues to shine brightly. As members of the DAR, we are committed to honoring the fallen and supporting the families of these military members. Through initiatives such as memorial services and support for Gold Star families, we strive to ensure that the sacrifices of these brave individuals are never forgotten. We actively participate in programs like Wreaths Across America. Each December, we join thousands of volunteers in placing wreaths on the graves of veterans in cemeteries across the country, honoring their memory and service. Our efforts in preserving American history also include the marking of graves of Revolutionary War soldiers and other veterans with special markers. These markers recognize the contributions of the individuals and ensure their service is remembered. Today, let us remember all those who have answered the call of duty and let their sacrifices not be forgotten. It is through their courage and selflessness that the torch of freedom continues to shine brightly, illuminating the path for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. One of the things that impressed me most about this wonderful organization is she mentioned Wreaths Across America. And the third Saturday in every December is National Wreath Day. And they place wreaths on military graves around the country in various parts. And if you can imagine, have any of you ever been to the Arlington National Cemetery? Raise your hands. 400,000 graves, they put 400,000 wreaths on those, one wreath on every grave. So what a great organization and great response. It's important to understand, and I know David spoke of it, and Cohen as well, this is more than just the start of summer. This is a time that we respect and thank those that have given their lives so we can do what we do today. And I sometimes reflect back, people say, well, it's the start of summer, now I'm going to go to the beach. I can think back 80 years ago, June 6, 1944, when 9,000 servicemen landed at Utah Beach in Normandy, France, and never came home. That's what this is about. This is about honoring those people. Or those 7,000 U.S. Marines who died at Iwo Jima in 48 hours. That's what this is all about. It's about honoring those that are not with us. At this time, we'd like to do a special invocation before our keynote speaker, Pete Bacon. Pete. He's the chaplain for the Sons of the American Legion.
As with humble hearts, we pay our reverent respect to our departed comrades, who recall their accomplishment and promise to keep the peace for which they bought and paid for with their blood. Let us further consecrate our living to the real America worth fighting for. Through the many blessings thou hast given to us, grant that we may, with compassion, serve the widows and orphans left to our care. Grant, O Lord, to each courage to trust thee always, not in the things of this world, but in thy might and power, that your ways may glorify thy name now and forevermore. In thy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pete. At this time, we invite to the podium our keynote speaker. And this is important that we work within our community and find people who are part of our community. I contacted Chief Bird and I said, you must have an officer that is a former service member. And he said, several of them. But I have only one that likes to speak. And so I said, well, that's what we want. We want one that likes to speak, because it gets pretty exciting around here. Jason Goodman was a United States Marine, served 8 years in the Marine Corps, loved his term of duty, wanted to stay in the Marines, but things didn't work out, and came back out and got in civilian life. He's actually a military policeman, am I correct? He's a military policeman in the Marines. And he came back and started a family. His beautiful wife and children are here. You want to raise your hand so we know who you are over there? There you go, 3 sons. My 3 sons, that's pretty good. But he has dedicated himself to working in our community. Along with the police department, he does a variety of youth projects. He's helped young people. And he's one of these who takes life very serious and cares about our community and about everything that goes on here. So I was very pleased to select Officer Goodman as our keynote speaker. Thank you.
Thank you for that. My name's Jason Goodwin, and I want to thank you all for coming out to this Memorial Day celebration. When I was preparing for today, I contemplated on that word celebration, whether I wanted to use it for a Memorial Day service. And ultimately, I chose to use the word celebrate, because we are here to celebrate the memory of the fallen. So it is a celebration as opposed to mourning. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be able to speak here today. And I didn't know that I liked to speak. I found that out today. But we are here to celebrate the sacrifice of the men and women that have fallen, and to remember them. In the words of George Patton, it is foolish and wrong to mourn the men and women who have died. Rather, we should thank God that such men and women have lived. And then Ernest Hemingway says that a man has 2 deaths. One when he's buried in the ground, and the last one is when his name is spoken for the last time. So on Memorial Day, we don't want these memories to ever fade. We want to remember the names and keep their memory alive. A little history about myself. I was predetermined to be in the Marine Corps because I came from a long line of Marines. My grandpa was a Marine and my dad was a Marine. I grew up listening to stories from my grandpa who was in the Korean War. He would tell stories when he was on the Chosin Reservoir. And for those that don't know what the frozen Chosin are for the Marines, it's one of our bloodiest days in our history. But 8,000 Marines and other service members were surrounded on the Chosin Reservoir by the enemy. And they had no way to get out, and it was some of the coldest weather in history there. And there was 8,000 Marines on Chosin, and only 1,000 fought their way back out. So my grandpa was one of those 1,000 that actually made it out, and he would tell the stories over there, and he didn't really tell me the real stories until I joined the Marine Corps. So then I got to hear all the stories. But that set my path to be in the Marine Corps just by listening to those stories that he told me, and then my father being in the Marine Corps as well. So as far back as I can remember, I told myself I wanted to be two things, and one was a U.S. Marine, and the second was a police officer. And God has blessed me with both of those. I was fortunate enough to find my wife, and she has supported me through everything and sacrificed for me to accomplish my dreams. And for the young men out there, I would tell you to find a wife that's going to support you and help you follow your dreams. And I'll tell you to marry her. And then after you marry her, she's going to tell you what your dreams are after that. Sorry, I'm getting out of my notes. So when I was in the Marine Corps, I joined as an MP, as he said. I was fortunate enough to be selected into the criminal investigation as well. So my Marine history is I was in law enforcement, and then I went in the criminal investigation division. I served in 2000, I entered in 2001 of March, and we went through September 11th, and I was fortunate enough through everything that happened that I never deployed. Part of me is grateful for that, and part of me wishes I would have gone, because I feel like I missed my opportunity to serve, but I was mandated stateside. So if you can believe it or not, at the time of war, I was stuck in Albany, Georgia, Marine Corps Logistics Base the whole 4 years while everybody else was out fighting. It really bothers me. But after the Marines, I got out, and just so happened the Rochelle Police Department was hiring, so I was able to continue my service in the Rochelle Police Department. I served there for 9 years and decided Rochelle was just a little too small for me. So I saw DeKalb was hiring, and they were taking lateral officers, so I transferred here to DeKalb. They accepted me, and I've had nothing but opportunities here in DeKalb, and I'm grateful for the opportunities they've extended to me. I've been able to be on the targeted response unit. I've been a detective, and most currently I'm a sergeant, and now I'm in charge of the supervision of the field training program, which I'm really grateful to have that title, because I have a hand in the future for our police department, which I can help train guys for the future of our police department and the city. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. All right, enough about, I have one more thing. The Marine Corps also afforded me opportunity to go to school. I cashed in on my education benefits there, and I was able to obtain my associate's degree from Kish in criminal justice. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice management, and I went on to get my master's in organizational leadership, which none of that would have been possible without this great country. So that's enough about me. We're here to talk about the fallen service members here. And all the veterans that are out here can, most of you should be can relate with this, but a veteran has two things in them. They have an extreme service to duty, and they have a servant's heart. And the other thing is they have a warrior spirit. The servant's heart is something that they have a strong duty. They feel they have to serve. So that's why we ultimately end up enlisting, because you can't shake that duty to service. Now the warrior's heart is something entirely different, and it's always being competitive. It's always having to be better than the next guy, and go so on and so forth. This warrior spirit shows up in every culture and civilization in the world. We have to celebrate this warrior spirit because we need that to continue in order to preserve our way of life. So one thing about the warrior spirit is that, yes, this is a day to remember those fallen soldiers and to keep their memory alive. But I would like to say that as a veteran myself, and I can attest to everybody that has gone before us, that they would say the same thing, that they would not want you to mourn their sacrifice. They would want you to celebrate it. That they were able to lay down their life for freedom for this country. And that's what Memorial Day is about. I was reflecting on what is Memorial Day about and what is our job as Americans. One thing that I would say our job as Americans is to live a life worth their sacrifice. Everything that we do from here on, we have to, as Americans, to make America great so that their sacrifice was not in vain. So on Memorial Day, that's one thing that I'd like to point out that we focus on is to live a life worth their sacrifice. And some of the things that I came up with that I would like to see as a veteran that I think that we could do in order to live a life worth their sacrifice. One personally I'd like to see is bring back the family structure. Social media, cell phones, and everything had drawn families apart. My family, we, as often as we can, we try to have dinner together. My schedule's kind of crazy sometimes, but if I'm not there, they have dinner together. And I have a rule at my house that there's no cell phones at the table. It's time for us to talk. So one thing I think that we can do to keep America great is bring back the family structure. Number two is love our neighbors. Unfortunately, in my career, I see the opposite of that on a daily basis. But what I would like to see is getting back to loving our neighbors. I mean, you can drive down the road and see a car stalled and barely anybody stops anymore. We all think that they have cell phones, so we don't stop. I get it. But I mean, like even your neighbors that like next door, do you know who they are? Do you talk to them? I would like to get back to even having like local gatherings, volunteering, joining clubs, even having block parties, just not too big because then we have to try and clear the street. So host some gatherings, engage in local business, and go to church if that suits you. And the last thing that I came up with that to try and live a life worth their sacrifice is loving America. I would like to see the American pride come back. Too often recently I've been here, it just seems like that they're trying to make America a bad word. I don't want to see that. We need to be proud to be Americans, and we need to bring back the pride in America. I've taught my sons to love America, and it pains me to see that if we were raising a generation to hate America, who's going to stand at the gates to defend her against her enemies in the future? So that's part of the reason why we have to bring American pride back. And I had another thought, but I'm not going to go down that road. So, in conclusion, on this Memorial Day, we gather here to honor the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in our country. It's a day of solemn reflection, a time to pay tribute to those who gave their lives to protect freedom that we hold dear. As we gather here today, we are reminded of the profound debt of gratitude we owe those fallen soldiers in the defense of our nation. Their courage and sacrifice, selflessness will never be forgotten. They represent the very best of America and embody the values of honor, duty, and patriotism. We need to extend our deepest gratitude to the families of those fallen heroes as well. They too have made sacrifices and they are enduring the pain for their loss. As we commemorate this day, let us reaffirm our commitment in honoring the memory of those that have gone before us, like we do here every year. Come out here. We need to keep that up. And let us strive to live lives worthy of their sacrifice, upholding the principles of freedom, democracy, justice, in which they fought for. May we never forget the true meaning of Memorial Day, and always remember to honor the extraordinary men and women who gave everything for their country. Rediscovering a sense of community can deeply enrich this. Here, all right, sorry about that. So remember, it is our job to live a life as Americans worth their sacrifice. This reminds me of the movie Saving Private Ryan at the very end there, where Tom Hanks' character, Captain Miller, tells Private Ryan to earn it. So today, as Americans, let's earn the right to live like Americans worth their sacrifice. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today, and thank you for my service.
In bringing back pride in America, how simple. And I think the two things that he missed was, one, pay it forward, do something nice for somebody else, and if we all would have a new mantra saying, I'm going to do one nice thing for somebody every day, our society would be so much better. So, just thank you very much for those inspiring words. So we'd like to come to a little part of an entertainment section of this, and we'd like everybody to kind of sing along. And we brought a former Army veteran here, and Miss Terry Whitten is going to. I want everybody to sing along. This is a day to really be family, and God bless America.
Heroes first. Is that correct? Heroes or Patriot? Heroes first. Heroes first. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes fruit in liberating strife, who more than self their country love and mercy more than life. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Terry and Michael do the military fight songs with me.
Thanks, Ron, and thank you for your wonderful rendition. I'm glad people sing along. Before I go further, one person I yet to thank, and we didn't really, Scott Zach from the city of DeKalb, who put all this together along with the Park District. I want to give Scott a nice round of applause. Scott, thank you very much for what you've done. This time we'd like to celebrate all the branches of the military. If you can, please stand and sing along as we sing your fight song. And for you Navy guys, know Row, Row, Row Your Boat is not the Navy song. Okay, I want to let you know that up front. So if you're from the Army, please stand. please stand.
The
Ron,
United States Army.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count all the gates loud and strong, free for wherever we go. You will always know that the army was rolling along.
United States Marines. Marines, please stand. Ron for the Marines.
Halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
Thanks for round of applause. Our Navy veterans, if you're still in the Navy, please stand and we can recognize you. Ron.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
Thank you. Now, United States Air Force. If you could stand, please, if you served in the Air Force. Ron, take it away.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Ain't nothing can stop the USF force.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron and Terry, for honoring our six branches. Very, very important. You know, our military people are all stars. In many, many ways, we're all stars as a military. Like the Army and the Marines, you sleep under the stars. You Navy and you Coast Guard people, you navigate by the stars. And us Air Force and Space Force people, we pick our hotels by how many stars they have. I think two of the most haunting sounds at military funerals or military events is number one, taps, and number two, the bagpipe playing Amazing Grace. Our firefighter, Mr. Conley, will now perform Amazing Grace. And now for our final presentation, the DeKalb American Legion Honor Guard will fire 3 volleys to remember those that are no longer with us. Each volley stands for something: duty, honor, and country.
Honor guard. Hit. Hut. Lord. Home. Rifleman ready. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Home. Bugler. Sound attack. Green clear. Home.
We will now retrieve our flags. As we conclude our service, the one thing I would like to remind everybody, for those veterans who never came home, every day is Memorial Day. God bless you. Thanks for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your day.